Let us now take the first model from element series. The question here is, how many such letters are there in the above series, each of which is immediately preceded by a symbol and immediately followed by a number? So we need to find out those letters which are immediately preceded by a symbol and immediately followed by a number. So we are in need of letters. As we have already discussed, the one which precedes comes before. So preceded by a symbol. So symbols should come immediately before the letter and it should be immediately followed by the number. So letter should be followed by the number. So number should come after the letter. So from the above series, we are supposed to find out those set of elements where the first element is symbol, the second element is letter, and the third element is number. Now to solve this question, we only need to pick up any one of these three elements and just find out whether the remaining two positions are satisfied or not. To do this in a simple manner, we should always go by symbols first. Why? Because symbols are less in number and they are easily attractive. So instead of going by letters or numbers, let us go with symbols. So we need to find out those symbols which are in the first position, followed by letters in the second position, and followed by number in the third position. So if you look at the series here, the first symbol which we have is percentage, followed by letter, and then followed by a number which satisfies the given set of elements. So I can say that percentage k and 3 is one set of elements which satisfies the given. So we can say that percentage k and 3 is the first triplet, that is a set of three elements which satisfy the given question. Now moving on, the second symbol which we have here is hash, which is again followed by letter and then followed by a number, which is as given in the question. So we can say that hash A2 is going to be the second triplet. Now the next symbol which we have in the series is dollar. But if you observe here, dollar is followed by letter, which is again followed by letter. And as given in the question, the symbol should be followed by letter and the letter has to be followed by number. So we cannot take this set of elements as the correct one. Now let us go to the next symbol, that is at the rate. If you observe here, at the rate is followed by a letter which is again followed by a number. So at the rate N4 can be taken as the third set. Moving on to the next symbol here, that is copyright. It is followed by a letter, but this letter again is followed by a symbol lambda. So we can say that this is not going to be the correct triplet. And the last symbol which we have is lambda, which is followed by number, and this number is followed by letter, which again does not match the given triplet of elements. So lambda, 7 and f cannot be taken as the correct set. So as you can see here, in total we have got three sets of elements which follow the same order as given in the question. So our answer here for this question is 3. Let us now take another example based on the same model. The second example from the first model here is, how many such numbers are there in the above series, each of which is not immediately preceded by a symbol but immediately followed by a letter. So here again we need to find out the number of triplets which follow the given order. So as you can see here, we are supposed to find out those numbers which are not immediately preceded by a symbol. That means the number here should not be preceded by a symbol. That means symbol should not come in the first position, but it should be immediately followed by a letter. So the numbers should be followed by a letter. So the order now here is, the first position should not be a symbol, second position should be number, and the third position should be letter. That means we can get two types of triplets from the given set. If the first position is not a symbol, it can either be a number or a letter. So if it is a number, the triplet will be number followed by a number, which is again followed by a letter. Or if the first position is a letter, it will be followed by a number and again followed by a letter. So these are the two types of triplets which we are supposed to find out from the given series. But since doing both of them will take a lot of time, we can simply check out for numbers or letters, keeping in mind that the first position should not be a symbol. The simplest way of finding out these triplets would be to go along with numbers in such a way that the number should not be preceded by a symbol, but it should be followed by a letter. The reason being, numbers are less when compared to the letters. So let us look at those numbers which are not preceded by symbol but followed by letter. Now if you look at the first number here, it is preceded by a letter, which is possible in the given case, and it is followed by a number which is not possible in the given case. So 1D15 cannot be taken as the correct set. Moving on to the second number, we have 5 here, which is preceded by a number, and as the first position should not be a symbol, it can be a number or a letter. So 5 is preceded by a number and followed by a letter which follows the given triplet. So we can say that 1, 5 and E forms the correct order, as this number is preceded by a number and followed by a letter. So this comes under the first case. Moving on to the next number, 3. 3 here is preceded by a letter which can be taken as the correct case, and it is followed by a letter which again can be taken as the correct case, as one of the other triplets is letter, number, letter. So this forms a letter, number, letter triplet. Similarly, moving on to the next number, 9, it is preceded by a letter and followed by a letter. So even this can be taken as the correct one. The next number is 8, which is preceded by a letter but followed by a symbol. As symbol should not take the third position, P8 symbol cannot be taken as the correct case. The next number here is 2, which is preceded by letter and followed by letter. So this is a correct triplet. The next is 6, preceded by letter and followed by letter. So this again can be taken as a correct set. And the next number is 4, which is preceded by letter but again followed by symbol. So this cannot be treated as the correct set. And the last number is 7, which is preceded by symbol. And the question clearly says it should not be preceded by a symbol. So even this fails to satisfy the given condition. So we can find that there are total 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 sets which satisfy the given condition. That is number which is not preceded by a symbol but followed by a letter. So the answer for this question is 5. Let us now take up the second model from element series, where we are supposed to find out the missing triplet out of the given set of triplets. Let's look at the question here. What should come in place of the question mark in the following series based on the above arrangement? So a series is given to us which is nothing but a series of triplets, that is D5%, J98, $2M, and then we are supposed to find out what would come in place of this question mark. To solve these type of questions, understand that the logic in between these elements is only based on their positions in the given element series, and there is no other relationship between these elements. For example, there is no relationship between D5 or 5 and percentage other than their positions. Similarly, there is no relationship between this set of elements with the second set of elements other than the position of these elements. So let us understand the positioning of these elements in the given element series. Now if you look at the first set here, that is D5%, we can find that D is in this position and 2 positions away we have 5. So you can say it is plus 2 positions away, and again after 2 positions from 5 we have percentage. So D, and then 2 positions away we have 5, and 2 positions away we have percentage. So that is the positioning of the first set of elements, D5%. Now coming on to the second one here, J, 9 and 8. So J is in this position, plus 2 positions away will give you 9, and again 2 positions away is 8. So in between these set of elements as well, the positioning is plus 2 and plus 2. Similarly, in the third set, that is $2M, if you observe the positioning, it is 2 with 2 positions away $, and 2 positions away M. So very clearly, the distance between 2 consecutive elements in the given triplets is always 2. Now again, we also need to observe the distance between percentage and J, and similarly the distance between 8 and 2, so that we can find out the first element of the missing set. So as we see here, the distance between percentage and j is 2 elements. And similarly, the distance between 8 and 2 is also 2 elements. So it is very clear that the distance between m and the first element of the next set should also be 2. So here the distance should be 2. So leaving 2 elements after m, we can understand that the first element of the missing triplet should be at the rate. So the question mark should be at the rate. 2 positions away we have 4, and again 2 positions away we have got t. So the correct triplet should be at the rate followed by 4 followed by t. So the answer for the given question is at the rate 4t. So this is how you can solve questions based on the missing triplet, simply by observing the positions of various elements in the given set of elements. Let us now take the third model from element series, where we are supposed to find out the wrong set of elements from the given various sets of elements. This is similar to model 2, but the difference here is we are not finding out the missing triplet. Instead, we have to find out the wrong triplet of elements. Let us look at the question here. 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way based on their positions in the above arrangement, and so form a group. Which is the one that does not belong to that group? So here 5 groups are given in the question. That is, the first group is BK2, the second group of elements is EI percentage, the third group or triplet of elements is J93, the fourth one is N copyright at the rate, and the fifth one here is 4TN. Now the question says, out of these 5 groups, 4 are alike in a certain way and hence they form a group. We need to find out that triplet which does not belong to the given group. Now, as very clearly mentioned in the question, they are alike in a certain way based on their positions. So as we have considered in model 2, the logic here is only based on their positions, but not in between the elements. So as we have seen in model 2, the logic here also is only based on the positions and not on anything else. So let us look at the logic in the positions of the first set of elements, that is BK2. So from the above series, we can find B in this position, plus 2 elements away gives K, and 1 element before gives 2. So we can say that the idea here is B plus 2 positions away is K, and 1 position back is 2. So to understand the positioning, we can take it as plus 2 minus 1, which means K is plus 2 positions from B and 2 is minus 1 positions from B. So that is on right side and left side of B respectively. Similarly, let us find out the positioning of EI percentage. As we can see here, E is in this position. Now I is 5 places away from E. So plus 5, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and percentage is again 1 position away from E. So here the positioning is plus 5 and then plus 1. So the logic is plus 5 plus 1. Now as soon as we find out the positioning in the set 2, we can understand that the wrong one is either option 1 or option 2. Why? Because the remaining 3 triplets here have to either match the first positioning or the second type of positioning. So very clearly the answer will either be option 1 or option 2. To find out the correct answer among 1 and 2, we just need to check the position of the elements in any one of the remaining 3 sets. So let us find out the positioning of J93. So if you observe here, J is in this position and plus 2 positions away is 9 and minus 1 position, that is 1 position behind J is 3. So we can say here that the logic is plus 2 minus 1. That is J and 2 positions after we have 9 and 1 position before J is 3. So as we can observe, the positioning in option 3 and option 1 is same, that is plus 2 minus 1 plus 2 minus 1. And it is obvious that the positioning in option 4 and option 5 should match option 1 and option 3, as the question clearly says that there are 4 triplets which are similar. So very clearly we can say that the second option is the answer, as it is different when compared to the remaining 4. Let us now take the fourth model from element series, where we are supposed to find out a particular element based on the positions given in the question. Let's look at an example here. The first example is, which element is 6th to the right of 18th element from the right end? So we need to find out that element which is 6th on the right of the 18th element from the right end. So first of all, we need to know what is going to be the 18th element from right end. And that can be taken as 3 plus 4 7 plus 4 11 plus 4 15, 16, 17 and 18. That means the 18th element from the right end is going to be hash. So now the question can be read as, which element is 6th to the right of hash, as 18th element from the right end is hash. So now we need to find out the element which is 6th to the right of hash, and the right side of hash is in this direction. So moving back 6 positions, we can say that the 6th element to the right of hash will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. That is going to be M. So our answer here is M. Similarly, let us look at example 2. Now the question here is, which element is 9th to the right of 13th element from the left end? So we need to find out that element which is 9th to the right of the 13th element from the left end. So let us first find out the 13th element from left end, and that element would be 4 plus 4 8 plus 4 12, and 13th element is 8. So now the question becomes, which element is 9th to the right of 8? So the 9th element to the right of 8 would be 1 2 3 plus 4 is 7 8 and 9. So we can say that W is going to be the 9th element to the right of 13th element from the left end. So the answer for example 2 here is W. But friends, solving the question in this manner will take a little more time, and these questions can actually be solved in a simple way by adding or subtracting the given positions. So let us understand when to add and when to subtract the positions given in the question. The simple table which needs to be followed is, whenever we are finding out an element in the right direction and that is from the right end, the positions have to be subtracted, or the difference of the positions should be taken. Similarly, when an element is required in the left direction from the left end, the positions again should be subtracted. Whenever a combination of left and right is appeared in the question, then we need to add up the positions. And similarly, if it is a right direction element from the left end, we need to add the positions. So this is how you can answer the question in a simple manner, by either adding or taking the difference of the positions. Now let us use this in solving the example 1. The question says, which element is 6th to the right of 18th element from the right end? So here we are looking at the right direction and from the right end. So the positions have to be subtracted, or the difference of the positions should be taken. The two positions given in the question are 6th and 18th. The difference of these two positions is 12. So now we can say that the answer is going to be the 12th element from the right end. Now finding out the 12th element from right end, we get 3 plus 4 7 plus 4 11 and 12. So M is going to be the answer, and that is what we have obtained in the previous method. So this is how we can find out the correct element, simply by taking the difference of the positions. Let us now see the application of this table in example number 2. The question here is, which element is 9th to the right of 13th element from the left end? So here we are talking about the right direction and from the left end. So we know that when the direction is right and the end is left, the positions have to be added. So the answer here is 9 plus 13, that is 22nd element from the left end, as left end is given in the question. So the 22nd element from the left end is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 21 and 22, and that is what the answer was in the previous method. So this is how simply by adding the positions or by taking the difference of the positions, we can get the correct answer in a few seconds. Let us now discuss the fifth model from element series, which is in line with the model 4. The question here is, if all the symbols are dropped from the above series, which element will be 7th to the left of 23rd element from the left end? So if we observe the second part of the question, that is, which element will be 7th to the left of 23rd element from the left end, this is as it is the model 4. But the difference here is, from the above series, the symbols have been dropped. Generally, students try to answer this question by dropping the elements and forming a new series. But that takes a lot of time. One simple way of answering this question is, let us find out the correct position from the second part of the question first, and then count the elements by skipping the symbols. Let's see how to work on this. As the question here is, which element will be 7th to the left of 23rd element from the left end? And as we have discussed in the previous model, that whenever there is a left and left combination, the difference of two positions should be considered to get the required element. Now, the two positions here are 7th and 23rd, and the difference of these two positions is 16. So we need to take the 16th element from the left end, as left end is specified in the question. So in general, the answer here would be 4, 8, 12 and 16. That is, 2 is the element which is 16 from the left end. But as the symbols have been dropped in the given series, we need to count the 16th position from the left end without considering the symbols. So the answer would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We cannot consider the symbol here. So this is 5, and the next element would be K, that is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Skip the symbol hash. This becomes 13, 14, 15. Skip the symbol dollar, and then 16. So the answer here would be the element K. So the simple idea is, find out the required position but count the elements by skipping the symbols to get the required answer. Let us now take the sixth model from element series, which is again similar to model 4 but with a condition given in the question. The question here is, if the above given series is reversed, which element will be 7th to the right of 8th element from the left end? So again, if you can observe here, the second part of the question, that is, which element will be 7th to the right of 8th element from the left end, is same as we have discussed in model 4. But then the condition in the question is, the above series is reversed. That means the left end becomes the right end and the right end becomes the left end. To answer this question, we need not form a new series by reversing the given original series. Instead of that, we can answer the question simply by finding out the correct position and then taking it from the other end as the series has been reversed. Let's see how to work on this. The question here is, which element will be 7th to the right of 8th element from the left end? As we have already discussed in model 4, whenever there is a right and left combination, the two positions have to be added. And the given two positions are 7 and 8. So 7 plus 8 would be 15. 15th element from the left end, as left end is specified in the question. So the answer here would be 15th element from the left end in the reverse series, which is nothing but 15th element from the right end in the original series, as the series is being reversed. So the correct answer can be taken as 15th element from right end instead of taking it from the left end. And that 15th element is going to be 3 plus 4, 7 plus 4, 11 plus 4, 15. So the answer for this question is the element B. So friends, the simple idea here is, find out the correct position and take it from the right end if the question is given from left end, and take it from the left end if the question says to take it from the right end. Let us now discuss the seventh model from element series, which is again based on the fourth model with a given condition. The question is, in the given series, first, second, third element and so on are interchanged with 20th, 19th, 18th element and so on respectively. Then which element will be fourth to the left of 14th element from the left end? So if we observe the pattern here, the first element is interchanged with the 20th element. Second element is interchanged with the 19th element. Third element is interchanged with the 18th element and so on. The one point which we can make out from the interchanging of the two positions is that the sum of the two positions is always 21. That means here the sum is 1 plus 20, that is 21. Again in the second case it is 2 plus 19, 21. 3 plus 18 equals to 21. As we are increasing one of the positions and decreasing the other positions by 1. So it is very clear that the two elements which are being interchanged, the sum of their positions has to be 21. Now, looking at the second part of the question, it says which element will be fourth to the left of 14th element from the left end. We very well know that whenever there is a left and left combination, the two positions have to be subtracted. And the difference of the positions here, that is 4th position and 14th position, is 10. So the answer should be 10th position from the left end. But as the elements are being interchanged, the 10th element should be interchanged with one particular element such that the sum is 21. So 10 plus the other element's position should be equal to 21. So we can know that the position should be 11. So instead of taking 10th element from the left end, we are supposed to take the 11th element from left end, as these two elements will be interchanged to get the sum as 21. So the answer will be 4, 8, 9, 10 and 11. That is 9 is the element which is the answer for the given question. So friends, this is how you can solve these type of questions by simply observing some pattern in the given interchanges. So try to always find out the sum or the difference of the positions which are being interchanged to get the pattern there. Let us now discuss the 8th model from element series, where we have to find out a particular element based on the positions given with respect to some other element. The question is, in the given series, which element is 8th to the left of, 4th to the left of $? As you can see here, the difference between this model and the fourth model is, in model number 4, we were trying to find out a particular element from one of the ends, that is either right end or left end. But in this model, we are trying to find out an element with respect to some other element. Let us first find out the element which is fourth to the left of $. So fourth to the left of $would be, fourth to the left of $would be hash. And now the question can be read as, in the given series, which element is 8th to the left of hash, as the element which comes fourth to the left of $, is hash. So now we need to find out the element which is 8th to the left of hash. Now moving to the left of hash, the 8th element would be 1 plus 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So the answer here would be percentage. So now we can say that the element which is 8th to the left of, fourth to the left of $, is percentage. So friends, if we try to compare this question with model number 4, there whenever there is a left and left combination, we have to take the difference of positions. But in this case, as the question is with respect to an element, the difference of the positions will not work out. Here what we need to do is, in case of a left and left combination, add the two positions. That is 8 plus 4 is 12. So the answer can be taken as 12th element to the left of $. So if you observe, this is quite opposite to what we have done in model number 4. So whenever there is a left and left or a right and right combination, the two positions have to be added. And when there is a left and right or right and left combination, the difference of the two positions have to be considered, which is quite opposite to the model 4. That's all from element series. See you in the next session. Thank you.